Hello again, we are going to go through these two videos to show you how EdPuzzle works.
Well,
Before this begins, he is talking about why people hate when someone takes a picture, then when they see the picture, they think that picture is terrible and they want it erased from existence.
into this a little bit. I talked to lots of the scientists that I have access to, thankfully, and started asking questions. Now, we know from perceptual science that a lot of what we actually perceive the world to be is pulled from memory, right? You glance at it, you know what the TED logo looks like because you've probably seen it a dozen times. Something pulls out of memory, that's what you perceive, right? Now, let's think about ourselves. How do we perceive ourselves? What is the map that we use to view ourselves? Well, it's like what no other camera sees. It's a mirror in your bathroom at arm's length, reversed.
So he's saying when you normally see yourself, it's in a mirror and it's backwards. So when you see yourself in like a picture and it's like correctly oriented, it looks weird to you and you think it's not right.
So that's a very personal view. You're the only person that has this view in the world, right? Whenever somebody takes a photo of you, it does not match that. In fact, I would go so far as to say you fall into the uncanny valley. So what's the uncanny valley? Well, this is something the Hollywood folks will know well. So if you've ever seen Toy Story, right, the character Woody, you know, he's human-esque, but he's not too human, and we accept him as a character. He's funny, he's great. He's Tom Hanks' voice coming out. Well, Tom Hanks lent his voice to another character, the guy in Polar Express. Well, that character is so discriminate him a little bit more carefully than we do Woody. And all of a sudden, he's not quite right. He's not quite human. He's not quite real. And to some people, he even looked a little dead. Right? So my theory, though I'm not a scientist, I'm just a photographer, is that when we see a photograph of ourselves, it looks almost right, but not quite. And so therefore, we feel a big sense of rejection. Is theory right or not? We'll see. Maybe somebody will test this. But what I can do right now is tell you one thing.
Here's his solution to this, and it's basically just trust your friends.
If you see a photograph of yourself, you have that reaction that, I don't quite like this, but everybody around you says it's a great photograph. Trust your friends. They know what you look like more than you do.
And now we're going to move on to video number 2. This is Paul.
You made it, my
And
God.
he's going to go to Antarctica to take pictures of various animals. Of leopard seals. That's a leopard seal. So when they get there, there's this giant leopard seal. So what does he do? He jumps in with it.
Are you going right now?
So he gets into the water and it swims right up to his camera. And then it tries to eat the camera. So he's terrified, but he's got a really cool picture. But it doesn't eat him, so he tries to feed him penguins because he thinks that Paul here can't feed himself. So the leopard seal continues to bring Paul penguins to try and help. Mostly because the leopard seal thinks Paul is like an incapable predator in the leopard seal's area. So it brings them wounded penguins, dead penguins, shows John how to eat, or Paul how to eat a penguin. These are all fascinating pictures. And this lasts for 4 days. And that was his trip to Antarctica.
So, those are the two videos I have done. I could share it with my students if I had classes. And that's how EdPuzzle works.